What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 90s First Show, where we talk about the things that we love. Join Joe, Justin, and myself, Mike, as well as the occasional special guest, as we talk about the movies and shows that we love the most. If you would like to support us, please share, subscribe, and leave a review. Now, enjoy the show. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the 90s First Show, where we review the movies and TV shows we've been watching. My name is Mike, and I am with my co-host, Joe. How you doing today, Joe?
Oh, I'm doing a wonderful, absolutely wonderful. No complaints at all today. It's been a good day.
That's good. Well, listeners, thanks so much for stopping by. This is going to be our Sonic review, the original movie from 2020. The last movie in theaters before all hell broke loose and the pandemic happened. So you ready to talk about this one here?
Was it?
Yeah, it was. This was literally the last one to release.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Listeners, we're going to be talking about Sonic and a little bit of housekeeping beforehand. Please leave us a review. We really appreciate you if you do. Couple of things here. On Spotify, you could leave us a star rating on mobile only. Okay, it's only a mobile-only thing, so leave us 5 stars, leave us a little other stars if you would like. Just let us know how we're doing so we can keep track of what we want to take care of here. And as well as follow us on Spotify. We're at 50 followers right now. Followers help us out on Spotify, so just hit that follow button as well. Really appreciate it. As well as if you're on any other podcatcher of choice, please leave a review there, leave a rating there. Again, would really appreciate it. We would also like to, read it on the show and stuff like that. So just let us know what you think about the show. All right. And finally, if you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and especially subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. So please, would really appreciate it if you press that button. It is completely free. Free of charge. Can you believe that, Joe?
It's not totally free. It takes your time. But it only takes about 0.2 seconds. So, if you can spare us that 0.2 seconds of time to just click that button, we would love it. Yeah,
would really appreciate it. Would be a blessing. So, as well as just some other episodes that have been happening, we have Test Your Might from this past week with Justin, Cicero, and Sean. So go check that out. That's our video game debate show. As well as we do have a Batman review on the YouTube channel and podcasting site as well. And then we are going to, we did review the first episode of the Halo series as well. So check that out too. Lots of stuff to consume, lots of stuff to listen to. Thank you guys once again for lending us your ears. Well, Joe, we're going to talk about the original Sonic from 2020. So, let's get into some spoiler-free review. What do you think about this movie? First of all, I know I watched it fairly recently. Did you rewatch it just for this occasion?
I did not rewatch it for this occasion, but I've seen it enough as it is one of my son's favorite movies of all time. I think in this household, we've probably watched it about 20 times, maybe more.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. So...
It's a good movie.
It's
fun.
A little excessive, like a little bit.
I mean, but how many times have you watched Jurassic Park?
I don't have a number. Like,
exactly.
A lot. More than that.
Well, so Joe, hit us with your spoiler-free review. What do you think of this Sonic movie?
I got you.
Get into spoiler one.
Spoiler-free review is as follows. It's good. It's a hedgehog who's blue. He's quick. There's a bad guy. There you go.
Do you want to do like a little bit more on that?
No, that's perfect. No? Totally spoiler free. Blue hedgehog. He's quick. He battles a bad guy. There's also another good guy in there. Takes place on Earth.
There's a review.
Yep.
All right. So I guess for me, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It is probably up there as far as like video game movies. It's probably, yes. I would say it's in the very short list of top 5 maybe good video game adaptations. Like Yeah,
the list isn't long.
No, it isn't. And this is just a fun movie. It's not necessarily like it's not jaw dropping. It's not anything different from like an action movie with like a superhero type character in it, but it's just extremely fun. Sonic is played brilliantly by Ben Schwartz.
Yes.
So that's really good. James Marsden is really fun in that. Tika Sumpter is as well. And of course, Dr. Robotnik is played really well by Jim Carrey as well. So I think you have just some really good casting with the bones, with the structure of a good story. And it's again, we'll talk about this because we will be reviewing the second one, Sonic 2, which is coming out here in about a week as of this recording. And we'll talk about like just how this was a good foundation for what the next movie was going to be. So I had fun. I thought the action scenes were really good. I watched a lot of this movie on my brand new like 4K Dolby Vision TV, and it looked really, really awesome.
Yes.
I had just a bunch of fun watching the movie. So yeah, it's definitely a recommended movie for sure.
Did you watch it with your son?
I didn't, and that's mainly because not only doesn't have a reference of who Sonic is, but also he's only 4 going on 5, and I didn't know what to expect from this movie, as far as what I would allow him to watch. So I didn't want to bring him into it and then just like, oh, we got to stop this, so I wanted to definitely screen it before. And I think I would still wait a little bit to show him, just because I think Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik is a lot more bullyish than I would want my son to watch right now. So yeah, I think this is one that it definitely will eventually hit our screens with the kids, but not right now. So
all right. Little behind the scenes, Mike just said his kid was 4 going on 5. I have same age kid, 4 going on 5, but I also have a 9-year-old, 9 going on 10. My 9-year-old loves Sonic, loves the story of Sonic, the video games of Sonic. We've introduced him to a little bit of both of the worlds. He's infatuated, has fallen deeply in love with all of the different iterations of Sonic. There's apparently a lot of them, as I'm learning now. Yeah. But he loves the film. And, this is a household where we have an older kid. So my daughter has watched it. She also really liked it. You're right. Jim Carrey's Robotnik, definitely bullyish. I don't regret showing my daughter, but I think if the opportunity was there to wait a little bit longer, I'd probably go for that. It was definitely age appropriate for my son who's 9. I think 7, 8-ish is where I'd want to introduce him to it. And this is obviously a new agey thing, right? Because we were exposed to the older cartoons. And as an adult rewatching those, I can't believe the sorts of things that I don't remember from them. So exactly. Maybe I'm being a little bit too hoity-toity as a parent, but I think 6, 7, 8-ish for sure. Yeah. Good age range for this one. And then screen it. You've got our views on it now, listeners. But like I said, my 5-year-old, 4 or 5-year-old loves it. My 9-year-old really loves it. Yeah,
and I don't think that it's out of the realm that my 5-year-old could watch this as well. But at the end of the day, I think there's just better stuff right now that he's pretty interested in that, kind of I'm more comfortable putting him through.
Yeah. So what do you really want to expose your kids to at such an age?
Yeah, certainly. So, but like I said, this movie I really enjoyed, so it's definitely one that I will eventually show my kid. And yeah, it'll be something that I'm really looking forward to. So, well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen the movie Sonic, go and watch it. It's on a lot of streaming services. I know it's on Paramount Plus. I think it's reached Hulu. Like there's definitely access to it. And if you haven't seen it, please stop and go watch it. Here's your official spoiler warning. Hey, you.
What's that? What the?
What are you doing?
Who, me?
Do you want to be spoiled? No? Well then,
Stop it. Get some help.
so you don't feel like this guy. Instead, let it be a surprise.
Oh, I like surprises.
So go watch the thing before you move on in the podcast, okay?
Alrighty then.
All right, that is your spoiler warning. So once again, go watch the movie if you have not seen it before listening to the rest of the podcast. So, Joe, on a distant planet, a young Sonic, an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog who can run at supersonic speed, is chased by a tribe of echidnas for his power. His guardian Longclaw the owl gives him a bag of rings that open portals to other planets. She uses one to send him to Earth while she stays behind to hold off the echidnas. What did you think about this start? Like, what do you think about the deeper like lore that they're trying to introduce in Sonic?
I really enjoyed it. So I thought it started off really strong. Had like a really good, strong start because, especially for like a kids movie, you want it to like grab you right away, right? You don't want to sit there and wait through a bunch of just like, until you got something that's like, okay, I'm interested now. Then give me the bag. So I think they did a good job because you start off with Sonic narrating, which was really fun. He's going, he's like telling you about the world that he lives on. I can run from one end of my island to the other one in half a second. And here's what it's like. And here's what's going on. And he tells you a little bit about who he is and about this power he has. And then right into it. Intro, bad guys. Yeah. There's always someone who wants my power. And then, with his narration, the story follows along right with it. Introduce the echidnas, quote unquote bad guys here. Yeah. And also introduce Longclaw, his protector, his guardian, which is cool. I mean, and this is just like symbolic. The owl being the guardian, I thought was really neat.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's more significance to the story that they're going to elaborate on later, but just for visual wise, like optics, it was really cool. The guardian owl was nice. But I think they did a really good job. The intro, it hooked me. It got me interested. It gave me a little bit of conflict and a little bit of, intrigue. And then they just jumped right off. And it's like, it's heavy, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, we're in spoiler territory. Longclaw stays behind to stop the people from getting through the portal and chasing Sonic and taking his power. She sacrifices herself for him.
Yeah. I mean, which shows the importance of Sonic's power and what she knows he's going to become and it's so interesting to talk deeply about a video game character because like this is a 2D video game character, like side scrolling. I personally don't know much lore of Sonic outside of he's the blue blur and he's got some enemies in the territories that he visits. And so honestly, listeners, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, at me on Twitter, but like, is Longclaw even a person in like Sonic lore? As far as the video games go, I didn't know. I thought it was a good touch because it's kind of trying to introduce this character that we are kind of supposed to empathize with and relate to in a sense, new character, new world. We've talked about this on many occasions actually on the 90s for show, in our older iterations of our podcast. And that is like being the new student this was our Doug episode, being the new student in a new school is kind of like what Sonic's going through right now, is that he's left what he has known in Longclaw, his protector, his world, and he's going to Green Hills, Montana. Again, that's a play on Green Hills, the hill zone in
the first level.
Yeah, the first level. So yeah, like it really does a good job to connect you with the Sonic character for what this movie is going to become. And then I love the narration that Ben Schwartz does over it. Spoiler alert.
Very well done.
Spoiler alert. Robert Pattinson also does that in The Batman, and it's beautiful what he says. So it's in this, it's the same thing. Oh, don't worry. It's just narration. I'm just saying. It's beautiful.
Whoa.
I didn't spoil anything. All right.
You had to say spoiler alert. For those listening, I have not seen the new Batman film with Robert Pattinson yet. And I don't do spoilers well.
Again, I didn't spoil anything. There's a narrator. All right. 10 years later, Sonic enjoys a secret life near the town of Green Hills, Montana, but longs to make friends. He idolizes the local sheriff, Tom Wachowski, who's played by James Marsden.
AKA?
Donut Lord. I love
Yes.
that. I just love it.
Best nickname.
I love everything. He's the Donut Lord. He talks to his donuts. He enjoys eating donuts, as well as his veterinarian wife, Maddie, calling her Pretzel Lady because she does yoga. So, unaware the pair are planning to relocate to San Francisco because Tom is actually bored of his lack of action in Green Hills. And he plans to accept this new role he's just been offered in the San Francisco Police Department. So what did you think about the Wachowskis, Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady?
So their story, a bit lame. The acting, really great. Right? I mean, the story is... Podunk Town, right? This is Green Hills, Montana. Nothing happens. The town is a one stop sign big, or one stop light big. It's a tiny town where nothing happens. We know that he wants more. His wife is happy though, and I think they did a good job of Marsden's character. I'm just going to call him Donut Lord. They did a good job with Donut Lord wanting more, and then introducing the problem, the struggle, introducing conflict into his job and his life by saying, you're looking for all this action, and then right when he's ready to leave, introduce the Blue Devil. I'm putting quotes around that for those listeners, who has been a local legend around these parts for 10 years now, because there's one old man who sees this blue blur, the little blue devil in the forest. I think they did a really good job of introducing him to his name. Is it Tom, the sheriff?
Yeah,
Tom Wachowski.
Tom Wachowski.
Tom Wachowski. They did a really good job introing that conflict. And it all started with, I'm going off topic here, but it all started with, Sonic's lonely. He wants friends. He's sad. He's playing baseball with himself on a baseball diamond.
Whoa. One night,
have to know why he introduced
just
him.
Just wait. One night, Sonic becomes upset over his loneliness while playing baseball by himself and starts starts running the bases at high speeds, accidentally triggering an electromagnetic pulse, which causes a large-scale power outage across the Pacific Northwest. So, first and foremost, I love this baseball scene.
So good.
I grew up a Bugs Bunny fan, and if you know what I know, you know where I'm going. There's an episode where Bugs is playing every single position on the baseball diamond, and he's dominating, and that's what this reminded me of. Sonic is he's funny in these moments. He's funny in those moments. Oh yeah, 100%. He's funny in this moment. The script is well written. But yeah, as you're saying, he just kind of loses it. He understands that he is lonely. And as you said, he wants friends.
Yeah.
He wants friends.
Nothing wrong with that. We all want friends, right? We all want to connect to people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you said, he sets off this massive EMP blackout across the whole like northwest part of the country.
Yeah.
Cue conflict. Cue intro of Sonic meets Tom, and probably the best. I don't know if it's a buddy cop comedy, but it starts that story, right? That's the intro to what will become. It's truly like, in my opinion, I feel like it's a buddy cop comedy. Like it just turned into that.
Yeah.
And
it works. It worked. It really did. It did work. Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to praise Marsden on his acting, right? Because he's not acting with a person there. Maybe when they did the filming, like they gave him someone there to act and like perform off of, or Swartz was in the room and they were doing the lines together. I'm not sure. Hopefully that was the case for him, but he did such a good job on screen. Pretend there's this little tiny blue creature that shouldn't be there. Yeah. And he plays it off so cool. Now intro this relationship or the start of this relationship building experience of, oops, I messed up, but I know that you're the protector of this town. Please help me.
So he shoots him with a tranquilizer gun. But because of this power outage, the United States Department of Defense actually enlists the services of eccentric roboticist and scientific genius Dr. Robotnik to determine the cause. Sonic, in a state of shock, flees from his underground home, but Tom discovers Sonic in his shed and accidentally shoots him with the tranquilizer dart, causing Sonic to see the Transamerica Pyramid on Tom's shirt and accidentally drop his bag of rings through the portal to the top of the same building instead of the mushroom planet he was planning to travel to. So, Sonic was about to get gone because obviously he knows that he's the cause of this electromagnetic pulse, this power outage, and he's like, I got to get out of here because people now know, and I'm going to have more attention on myself. Yeah. And so I got to listen to...
Something is up.
I got to listen to Longclaw because Longclaw actually told him the plan. Here, you're going to go to Earth first, and then if things go bad there, you're going to go to the Mushroom Kingdom. And he drops his bag on the Transamerica Pyramid, which is in San Francisco. And Tom hesitantly agrees eventually to help Sonic, and the two flee when convicted by Robotnik. So Dr. Robotnik is introduced. Let's talk about him. Jim Carrey, the man, the myth, the legend. What did you think of his Dr. Eggman in some cases, Dr. Robotnik in others?
Perfect. I think he played the character perfectly. I don't think... So when I watched it the first time, I was super unsure. As I'm sure that listeners are, if you haven't seen it, you think Jim Carrey, and if you know Dr. Eggman, Dr. Robotnik, you know there's a little bit of a discrepancy there between the character of Robotnik and Jim Carrey that we know from other things. He's super funny, right? We know Jim Carrey's a great comedic actor. We know he's a good dramatic and serious actor too, from like the Number 23 and other things that he's done. But this kind of like, we don't know what it's supposed to look like in a movie, right? Mm-hmm. The antagonist has always been a video game character who just kind of exists there to, be the foil, to ruin Sonic's plans. I think Jim Carrey did amazing. Like, honestly, one of my favorite performances of his. I think he did so well in it. I'm excited to see the next movie and see, how that continues, because he did such a good job as Robotnik, and that's what we get in the first movie. We don't really get, the crazy version of him. We get, he's eccentric, he's out there, he's not lost his marbles yet, though. And by the end of the first movie, and this is, we'll talk about it, but he ends up getting stuck on a different world and going crazy, like legitimately.
He becomes the Dr. Robotnik that we kind of know from the games.
Exactly.
So I think that Jim Carrey, this is one of Jim Carrey's just another good role added to his plethora of good roles. Like, I think I think he was a bright spot in this movie. I think he was equal parts evil and equal parts crazy. And I think that works in this. But I think also that like it works because he's kind of like he's a quirky villain. And he's
definitely.
And just Carrie just brings out the best of what Robotnik is supposed to be. And he's an absolute genius. He thinks he's above everybody else. And to a certain extent he kind of is, with his smarts and with his, his ability to discern certain situations and how to handle them. And so he traces Sonic to Tom's house. And then Tom says, yo, he's not here. And then like Robotnik's like small robots start shooting up Tom's house with real bullets.
I mean, there was an action that caused that. Mm-hmm. They didn't just barge in there and start shooting up, right? We have Sonic wanting to protect Tom, Marsden's character, exposing himself because that's how all great movies work, right? Then Marsden punches Robotnik, Carrie, right in the face. And then the robots turn evil, right?
Yeah.
I mean, turn evil, I'm quoting, but like they try and protect their creator.
Yeah.
And they absolutely destroy his house.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shoot the
he needs
the
insurance.
heck out of it.
So... so Tom hesitantly again agrees to help Sonic and the two flee. And Tom is labeled as a domestic terrorist. And that comes into play a little bit later, so we'll save that because it actually plays into a really funny scene.
Yes.
But Sonic and Tom, they are starting to actually form this bond. And they actually find themselves at this bar. And Sonic creates this bucket list, and Tom's like, yo, we gotta go. And then Sonic's like, but this is my last night, or last couple days on Earth. I gotta do this bucket list.
Yeah.
And so they end up doing a bunch of it, and just a lot of fun. They get into a bar fight. And
cue one of the best slow-mo fight scenes since
X-Men.
you
get the X-Men scene. There's literally a rip from Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, and it works really well. Just a really good fight scenes and stuff like that. Really good action. Let's see here.
After that,
all right,
into buddy road trip comedy. Fulfilling the bucket list.
Yeah, exactly. So, having recovered one of Sonic's quills, Robotnik analyzes it and discovers it holds an almost limitless amount of electrical energy. He decides to capture Sonic and use him to power his machines. Robotnik is kind of tracking them down. Tom and Sonic are on the road again after this bar fight and everything. And here is where you get kind of like these two friends trying to form a bond here, and then there's a rift because Sonic right here figures out that Tom is actually planning on going to San Francisco and leaving Green Hills, and Sonic's like, what? You can't leave Green Hills. It's like perfect.
It's a bit sad about it.
Little bit sad. He's like, I need my donut lord directing traffic. And so, you gotta get Sonic, trying to be an influence on Tom and really, really trying to make him see what he truly has in Green Hills, Montana. So anyway, this scene was really fun. You got the one thing that was, it's not a bad thing because obviously Tom can't go super fast, but like the amount of time Sonic is in a car instead of like running is actually pretty mind-boggling in this
It's a
movie.
lot.
It's just like, you can run, right? Like you're fast. And it's just really
Very
funny.
fast.
But yeah. But you love it. I love to see how like, and obviously it happens in the end of the movie, but this is like the first scene where you like really feel that Sonic is like actually figuring out his powers and using it on the offensive, because he's always been defensive, right?
Yeah, running, hiding, staying hidden, trying to protect himself and protect his secret, and he's supposed to be, that's what his guardian told him. That's what Longclaw told him. Stay secret, stay hidden, stay safe. Don't let people know, because if they know you exist, they're gonna try and take your power. And sure enough, Robotnik finds a quill, finds his power, and what does he want to do? Well, he wants to take it.
He wants to use it.
Instantaneously, the first thing he does is like, I need all this power. We're gonna, well, he says it not nicely, but he says he's gonna take him apart. Like, oh, exactly. Shoot. Well, dang.
Yeah, so he tracks him down. Tom and Sonic survive this fight, but Sonic is actually knocked out and done in pretty bad there with a huge explosion. And Tom actually takes Sonic to his sister's house, or his sister-in-law's house, which is where this domestic terrorist line is actually starts getting really funny, because his sister-in-law is hilarious.
Already hates his guts before any of this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Thinks it's the bad or the wrong person for, her sister. Don't marry this guy. He's a loser, right? This wonderful guy who's a cop in a no-name town with nothing wrong is a terrible choice for the veterinarian sister. It's like,
and that's Natasha Rothwell as Rachel, by the way. And it's just, man, it's good. So like just some really good comedic lines throughout this whole movie. So Tom actually is in San Francisco. Tom brings Sonic to Maddie, who treats him at her sister Rachel's home. While Tom explains their situation, Sonic receives the iconic red sneakers that he always wears from JoJo, who is Maddie's niece. Now, this whole time, though, Rachel, the sister-in-law, is literally tied up. Like, here's this guy all over the news, and he ties her up. Like, she's got so many thoughts in this scene. It's so funny.
She was being unreasonable, though.
It's just so funny.
No, it's done really well. The humor, I think the humor hits on every level right there. Like for adults and kids, it's really funny. They get to see this like really comedic way of like tying up, the kid gets to tie up her mom. They all kind of work on it, but and then the handing off of the shoes, you get this real nice emotional moment. You get the husband and wife moment with Tom and the wife's name, who I'm not remembering. You kind of get it all right there. Maddie, thank you. And you kind of get it all in the scene right there. And then right afterwards is more like action. So they kind of, they sandwich this like funny, heartfelt moment in between the car chase scene, which is like funny in its own right, but exciting and funny, to like this nice heartfelt moment with the kid and the shoes and the gift and like understanding and like being a good partner. And then right back into really more comedy and action again, but you get the tower scene or the pyramid, whatever it is, the building scene next. And comedic throughout. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah. So as Joe alludes to, they end up Sonic kind of recovers, has a moment with Maddie's niece, like just really heartfelt moment, getting the sneakers from her, and like he's hanging out with the dog and everything, so that's all fun and dandy too. And then put it to your left a little bit. Put your camera to your left a little bit. There you
I was out of frame.
Yeah, we're just getting Joe back in frame, listeners, for our video
bad.
version. Speaking of, go check out our YouTube. Subscribe. Anyway, so they actually head out to the roof. They recover the rings. Sonic has his stuff back, and then Robotnik actually arrives. He's piloting what is like the kind of like the new age interpretation of his iconic
It's an awesome glider.
Yeah, glider thing, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, hovercraft. There we go. An advanced attack hovercraft. I should probably just read what I see here.
If you want. I can make up words. I'm good at it.
And then one of my favorite lines is actually here. Because Tom's like to Maddie's like, yeah, I punched him in the face, and she's like, oh, it's just like it was really funny. So yeah, like that's probably one of the best parts about this movie is the interactions between Tom and Robotnik. Like that is even more. Those moments are even more funny than when Sonic is interacting with Robotnik.
Yes.
So
Although I think it's like the interaction of Sonic and Robotnik are serious moments. I'm hopeful in the next one there's some like funny moments between them.
And I think there will be for sure, because
in this one the funny moments were Tom and Sonic and Tom and Robotnik.
Yeah, and I think they will be because of what we will get to a little bit later. So Robotnik actually is using Sonic's quill in his hovercraft. So Sonic kind of has this idea to push Tom and Maggie. Is it Maddie or no? It's Maddie. Sorry, off the building, because he knows that with his speed he could go catch them. But what he didn't realize was that Tom and Robotnik, his hovercraft is powered by a sonic quill, and so he is just as fast in his attack hovercraft. So that was really awesome as well. But yeah, despite Robotnik matching his speed, though, using the quill's power, Sonic does end up fighting him off the drones and uses his one ring to send Tom and Maddie back to Green Hills to protect them. So he throws a ring, and Tom and Maddie go into the ring, and they fly into a barn full of hay. And it was actually a really cool scene, really good shot.
Super well done. Yeah, super well done.
And so, Joe, take us into what's next, because some of the set pieces that they have from here on out are just, really cool.
You want me to start at the building, or just after they go through the portal? Or the whole fight scene?
The whole fight scene. Go ahead and talk about it.
All right, so we got Robotnik in his hovercraft, powered by Sonic's quill. It's really well done. The way they do it, they show you, he's got it in this little vial tube thing, and they show that it's powered so that that something's going to happen with that later. But at that moment, all of the drones are regular speed, so those get taken out quick. Sonic, goes into speed mode, another little slow-mo scene, grabs rockets, points them at each other, throws the ring, creates the portal down at the bottom of this tower, which is, I don't know, 100 stories high. He's shoved Tom and Maddie off the roof at this point. You get this awesome slow-mo falling scene where they're, falling for a really long time, in quotes, long time. This whole fight scene, because the whole fight scene is now super speed. As Tom and Maddie are falling, you get this amazing fight scene between Sonic and Robotnik through the city of San Francisco. Hence, cue set pieces. They're flying and running and jumping and whatever, fighting through San Francisco with some of the iconic landmarks, streets, buildings, things that you get to see at super speed. Robotnik, without any thought for human life or property or anything, which is where you kind of see the evil of him. Not so much evil as just, I don't know, is uncaring and unkind evil, or is it just sociopathic? But you see the side of Robotnik where he doesn't care or value human life, only his own and his machines, which he kind of alluded to earlier in the film. You get this awesomely shot scene though through San Francisco City between Sonic, between Robotnik, high speed, extra high speed, the whole thing. Everyone else is in slow-mo. And you get this amazing, it's a chase scene. They set it up as a chase scene, and it's fun because it's, foot versus hovercraft or foot versus machine, shot super well. And at the end of this chase scene, you see Sonic looks like he's getting bested. And so Sonic takes the same portal to Green Hills. Sonic is now in Green Hills. And Robotnik comes through as well. Through the portal, you see him. And you think, oh no, Sonic is done for.
And some of those set pieces are just so good. Like, you get France in there, you get China, Egypt, like, just all these teleporting.
I didn't even cover that. That's right. Dang.
I know.
Yeah. You go through all of the different places.
So I mean, and the final one, the one that you're talking about here, is that Sonic is going up one of the pyramids.
Pyramid of Giza.
And Sonic he throws a ring, and Robotnik basically, his rockets like propel Sonic through that ring, and so Sonic is like down and out for the count and stuff like that. And then what you were just alluding to was Robotnik like coming through this ring like super slowly.
It was,
and it's
so
just
well
it's
done.
such a good scene.
And they give you the off angle that they give you, so you get to see the side of the portal. And for the viewers, they can see me, but you see the side from a side view of the portal, and you watch his ship just slowly emerge from nothing into existence. I'm beautifully done. Whoever designed that and chose to shoot it that way, hats off to him. That was the right way to do it. I can't imagine a better way to have shot that scene.
Yeah.
And then Q, the reason that Green Hills is the place to be, the town stands up for him. The town is there to have their back. Like, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so that's where we pick up in our outline here. So Robotnik knocks Sonic unconscious, but Tom and the townsfolk intervene, and Tom says that Sonic is his friend, causing Sonic to regain his strength. And that's the last thing, actually, that was on Sonic's bucket list, was to be a friend, to have a friend, rather. And so, Sonic is kind of knocked out, and then, like, his blue energy, like, kind of brings him up after he was a friend and, gains a friend and stuff. And this is where Sonic, like, shows how powerful he is. And he's, like, bouncing back and forth, like, hitting Robotnik's aircraft with just, basically, he's kind of in that ball mode where he's, like, revving up and, like, going back and forth, hitting it. And he just completely destroys Robotnik. Tom throws a ring to Mushroom Kingdom, and Sonic his final blow is to send Robotnik through that ring to Mushroom Kingdom.
But not before he does the awesome force pull where he takes his power back.
Oh,
Remember that?
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He has control over his quills. He is going through, and I love that scene. That was impactful for me because there's, like, he loses a quill early on, and we don't know there's a connection of him and his quill. This connection exists between him and his quills until now. And there's that point right before he does, the iconic circle spin, bash him through the portal thing, where he says, "I'll take that back," and legit, like, I mean, just force pulls it, has this connection, and the quill just comes right back to him. And it was like, oh shoot, okay, so that's part of the power. Like, he's so connected to this innate power in himself that he can control and take it and do it even when it's not connected to him. Like, there's a connection between that power. And then the iconic ring toss, bash him through the portal. So well done. Wonderful movie. I've seen it too many times, I think.
So the government ends up agreeing to hide Sonic's existence by erasing all evidence of the events, including records of Robotnik's existence. And then 3 months later, Robotnik is still in possession of Sonic's quill and usable equipment. Did he do the force thing? Because he has a quill. I'm confused.
Yeah, he pulls it back. I'll have to rewatch it now.
How does Robotnik have a quill then? Ooh.
Oh, it could be the one that he took from. There might have been one other one, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I have to rewatch it now.
He does it, yeah. And Robotnik has one of those, and so he's shaving his head. He has gone full Eggman. He is crazy. He's insane. He's talking to a rock, doing that, and that rock is doing reconnaissance.
Yes. Some of the best rock puns at the end of this film.
Oh,
and if you like dad jokes and bad puns, you're in for a real treat.
Yeah, so Eggman, Robotnik is going to be back in the sequel because he has swore revenge against Sonic and Tom. And then also something that I failed to see or know, because I guess there is a end-to-end credits scene where Tails walks through a ring portal to Earth to search for Sonic. So that obviously sets up Tails being in the next movie. We also know that Knuckles is going to show up, based off the trailers and stuff.
Spoiler alert.
So don't worry, dude. It's okay.
Listeners, I don't watch trailers of any sort. I don't watch them. I hate them. I hate their existence. I didn't know that. I just learned Knuckles was in the film.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget that I can't do that with you. Well, he's there. All
right. Good to know.
I won't tell you anything else. Joe sadly probably won't be on our review of the second one because you don't get to theaters much, I'm pretty sure. But
last time I went to the movie theaters, a little behind the scenes action for you was when Cinderella came out.
Oh, wow.
5 years ago.
So we might not get Joe's understanding and opinion of the second one for a little bit, but regardless, glad you could join me on this adventure talking about the first one here to get us prepared for the second. So,
question.
Joe,
Before we move on, are we not going to talk about the rework of Sonic?
Oh, we can if you want, and how
I feel like we should.
Good it was.
Yeah. So I actually didn't see what Sonic looked like before because I don't watch spoilers. I only learned after the fact of how bad it could have been.
It was bad. So they were
so
trying.
Bad.
They were trying to go with like a more realistic looking hedgehog because it was a quote unquote realistic movie.
Yeah.
But everybody was like,
you broke Sonic.
No, don't do that. And this was one of those instances where like they actually listened to people and made him look more like the Sonic character from the games. And man, how bad would this movie, bare bones, same everything, but you have that original design. Like, how bad is this movie, right?
I think it would not have worked because it would have, when you watch it, you get the fun feel, and how they tried to make it more serious, it would have fallen flat, right? We would have ended up with something that just missed its mark. By reworking it and giving him those big thick quills that give him the shape and design that he's supposed to have, instead of this, like, I get the fur look because hedgehogs are furry. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look good. It looks so bad. I'm looking at it right now, and it's awful.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
The whole movie would have fallen flat.
Yeah,
you would have been stuck staring at this like weird hair fur things. I'm scrolling.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like would just take you out of the immersion of the movie. And like it's just like you'd be sitting there, you're like, I think I like this movie, but I don't because of how Sonic looks. And like, yeah, this is one of those things that like, kudos for them for listening to the community and actually
kudos.
And like what is somewhat unprecedented for movies in general, they actually delayed the movie to rework the whole design. And to their credit, they ended up making a really good movie. So, with that being said, Joe, your ranking 5 out of 5. What do you got?
I want to give it a full ring, so I can't do halves. I don't think it was a perfect film. No, screw it. It's a perfect kids film. I'm giving it 5 rings.
5 rings. 5 rings out of 5.
Like I said, I watched it 20 times, probably at least, maybe more. I still like it. I still like the movie. So if you can watch a movie that many times and still enjoy it, it's got to be a perfect kids movie.
I'll give this a solid 4 Sonic Quills out of 5. I think it was a fantastic foundation for what this franchise is going to be in movies. And I think it was just, I think it was missing some of, I think it was missing a little bit more action, for me. Like, I wish there was maybe a little bit of a little bit more Sonic stuff, like the stuff at the end.
Things. Yeah.
Well, the stuff at the end, I wish there was just like more Sonic Blue Blur type stuff. Like, that was good throughout the movie. But other than that, like, I think 4 is, I mean, it's a good movie. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely 4 out of 5 Sonic Quills. So that is our review of the original Sonic. Stay tuned in a couple weeks' time for when we review the new Sonic. That will be me and Justin and maybe somebody else if we could get them on. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 100 subs to get that custom link. So please, please, please help us out. It will take 2 moments of your time. Obviously, if you're on any podcatcher of choice, please leave a review there, a rating. Spotify, hit that rating on mobile, as well as give us a follow on all the podcatching apps. Yeah, all of those things. So, again, that was our Sonic review. My name is Mike. His name is Joe, and we're out.
Bye everyone.